Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 7 of the Frisky Whiskey. Mike D, what do we got going on this evening?
Oh, man, this is going to be a great evening. Because first of all, we're actually having our first guest speaker tonight.
I know.
And this is a good friend of ours. His name is Jacob. Jacob, say hi to everybody.
Hello, everyone.
And Jacob's a whiskey enthusiast just like us. He knows his whiskeys. He can talk his whiskeys. And he was generous enough to actually supply the whiskeys for tonight's show. And tonight's show is called My Name is Bond, Bottled in Bond. I can almost hear the James Bond playing it.
Sure. Dun-dun-dun-dun.
So T.I., what is bottled in bond? What does that actually mean for people who don't know what that is? Not everybody knows this.
Yeah. So, bottled in bond is whiskey that has been aged and bottled according to a set of legal regulations that's contained in the United States government standards of identity for distilled spirits. Originally laid out in the Bottled in Bond Act of 1897,
Okay.
it was to create a standard of quality for bourbon whiskey. So for such a bottle to be labeled bottled in bond or bonded, the liquor must be the product of one distillation season, January to June or July to December, by one distiller at one distillery. It must have been aged in a federally bonded warehouse under U.S. government supervision for at least 4 years and bottled at 100 proof, 50% alcohol by volume. The bottled product's label must identify the distillery where it was distilled and, if different, where it was bottled. So that's what it is to be bottled in bond.
That's going to be one hell of a government job. To have that job. Imagine being that guy, working that warehouse.
Do you think they get some kickbacks?
Oh,
Well, I think they excuse me, I think they pay taxes based on the proof.
oh, do they really?
So I think when they started the bottled and bond, it might have been a higher proof. I'm not a fact checker, but so they're
Kinda
going to
makes
definitely
sense,
get their money, and then they're paying based on the alcohol per volume.
Well, that's
Okay.
interesting.
That is interesting.
really
It's a
interesting.
good little factoid.
But I like the way it's like so monitored, and there's a certain way you have to do it. It's guaranteeing
The quality.
a quality that
Yeah.
they all have to adhere by, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Which is very cool. So we got some really good whiskeys, and once again, Jacob, thank you again for
Yes, thank you very much.
generously supplying the whiskeys tonight. And tonight we're doing 4 whiskeys.
Yeah.
All right, so we've never done 4 before, so we're gonna see how this goes
It
tonight.
could get dangerous.
I think
could.
Jacob just talked us into it.
Yeah, he twisted my arm. I'm like, okay, we'll do 4. And so we got an Evan Williams, we got an Old Granddad, we got a Colonel E.H. Taylor, and we have a Chattanooga Whiskey, which we're going to start with that one first.
Yeah.
Because Jacob, you're from Chattanooga. You're from that
Correct.
area.
Yeah, born and raised.
So-
My whole life.
What can you tell us about this whiskey? What do you know from being in that town about Chattanooga and the history of the whiskey in Chattanooga? What do you know about that?
Well, long time ago, I'm not going to go over dates because, frankly, I'd probably get them all wrong.
That's fine.
But originally when Chattanooga was started, there were 2 gentlemen, and they came and developed an area called Ross's Landing, and that's where they first incorporated the city of Chattanooga, and that was a harbor on the Tennessee River.
Okay.
So once that started, because Chattanooga was a big industrial city, I think 30-some distillers and 98 different liquor dealers were all based in Chattanooga.
Wow.
Because now where Chattanooga is based with the interstates, it's kind of the center. If you're going to Atlanta, Birmingham, Nashville, Knoxville, you're all going through Chattanooga. And much of that back in the day was done, on the water. Now, Chattanooga whiskey, up until 2012, it was still illegal to produce whiskey in Chattanooga.
That is crazy.
Yeah,
that
that
was from Prohibition.
Even it was actually before Prohibition.
Oh.
Prohibition.
Wow.
So in 1909, Tennessee was one of the first states to make it illegal to distill spirits, except for like 3 or 4 cities in the state, and Chattanooga was not one of them.
Wow.
So all of those distilleries that were there obviously went out of business.
Right, and they were near a railroad, they were near a river, so it was good places to ship out of quickly.
Correct.
Wow.
It was a huge shipping hub.
Wow.
It's crazy
That's
that
crazy.
a place that produced so much that they got so crazy about it, like not to
I
produce
know,
it.
right?
Well, I think the probably bigger money grab or producers was like Iron Works and stuff like that. Because even when I was growing up, the air quality was still not great in Chattanooga. I was looking over some stuff before I came because I knew we were going to be talking a little bit. And at some point, it was one of the dirtiest cities. I don't know if in America or the South, because of the air pollution, because there were so many factories and stuff that were producing.
Okay.
now it's all changed. It's different. You know, the air quality is much better, and I don't remember the air quality being bad, but I just remember like that was like a thing when I was a kid.
Oh, wow.
What did you have to do like special as a kid because of the air quality?
Nothing, but like, you know, we had like regulation where you had to take your car in and get, you know, the
those things. They do it in New
emissions
York.
testings and all that stuff.
Okay.
They just stopped doing that a couple of years ago.
Oh, did they?
Okay.
You know, they tried to do that here in Florida. It was an epic failure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was horrible when they tried
I never
to do
want
it
that to
here.
come here.
No.
The only nice thing about that is that, you know, there's some questionable cars on the road in Florida that wouldn't,
there
that
definitely
wouldn't
are.
pass
Yeah, but
emissions.
then I'd have to get my car back into stock.
He's one of those cars.
It's not a questionable
Well,
car.
I was thinking more of like the duct tape bumper.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
those are
see,
the best.
that's what I was thinking
those are
about.
the best. I
The one where
love
half
when
the
duct
bumper-
tapes on a car.
Yeah.
So the cool thing about Chattanooga Whiskey is these two guys, I don't personally know them, but they started in 2009 a campaign to make it legal to distill in the city of Chattanooga again. Took them a couple of years to get it done. I think they started actually selling some sort of spirit in like 2011 or 2012, and that was a LDI or MGP product that they were sourcing
Okay.
and using, you know, it's already aged and everything. And I think 2015 is when they first produced spirits in the actual city of Chattanooga. And then I think 2017 was the first bottle in Chattanooga in 102 years that was actually produced there.
And what they did, what they fought for, it actually got 41 counties now can produce.
Correct.
So they actually reopened that doorway
For anybody.
for what they did. I mean, they it wasn't just fighting for them.
Yep.
They were fighting just to, hey, this has got to stop.
Well, you gotta remember, there's like a lot of laws that are still in place that don't make sense because no one is like thinking about it.
Yeah.
There are some
So-
crazy laws out there. If you look at some of these laws that never get enforced anymore, but they're still on the books,
Yeah.
it'd be amazing what you'd find.
Yeah.
They're so funny. You know, I remember some show I was watching. They were talking about it, and there was like this one where you couldn't drive your car on a Sunday technically because it was church day or something crazy like that.
makes sense.
Or no, actually, it was your horse and buggy or something weird. It was like some kind of weird thing like you couldn't have your horse and buggy out for a certain time period during Sunday because that was when you should be in church.
Okay.
You know, and it's still in the books.
Yeah.
But now you have cars, so it doesn't really fit anymore. It's just interesting stuff out there. So let's talk about this flavor profile we got going on here today.
Okay. All right. So I think we have some toasted oatmeal cookie.
Yep.
Is that correct? Sweet crepes, dried herbs,
Yep.
and a light smoky finish.
And the smell of this, like I was.
Well,
you saw me sip the bottle.
Well, I could smell it as you were pouring it. It was wafting over my way.
Yeah, I
So-
mean, I was sniffing that bottle. This is really. I mean, you could smell that oatmeal cookie, almost
Yeah.
like you can almost get that sweetness of it.
That's really nice.
The herbs. I'm not getting smoke in my nose.
Well, it's the finish.
Yeah,
It might be on the
I mean,
palate.
probably the
Be a little
finish.
smoke
Yeah.
on the palate.
So let's give this a quick little taste here.
Man, it smells good.
Oh,
How's
that's
it taste?
tasty. This is different. This is tasty.
And that's kind of the cool thing about Chattanooga is that, you know, everything these guys do is not trying to be like anybody else. So they're a Tennessee high malt is what they call their style of whiskey.
Yep.
Okay.
Where it's like 25% specialty malts. They put in all of the products that they produce. And they produce so much cool stuff.
Okay.
Like all kinds of cool stuff. They just won like 2023 Craft Distillery
Oh, did they?
Award.
Now, have you been there? Have you actually been to this?
So I've been to the experimental distillery, which is like the original setup, but
Okay.
they're not doing tours, or at least they weren't when I was back home, the most recent, in the actual distillery just yet. But it's a beautiful, right on the river, massive, you know, production.
Nice.
Do you know how many stills they have there?
No, I don't. But like I said, they're still a craft distillery, so it's not ginormous. I don't remember the exact. I think it's less than 250,000 barrels or something to be classified as still a craft and not like the next tier up.
And how much is this bottle? How much?
So that one was around $52 at Total Wine,
Okay. Okay.
which is neat that they actually even have that at Total Wine.
Absolutely.
They got a lot.
Just a couple of years ago, they didn't have any Chattanooga whiskey, and then they first got their 91, which is like their flagship. And they got their cask 111.
Okay.
I mean, those are the proof of the spirits, is what those are. And those are really good. That 91 is a Solera barrel finish,
Okay.
Okay.
which is a little bit different.
And I'm starting to get some of that dried herb in there. It's coming out as the more I'm tasting it neat.
It is.
You know, I don't know about sweet crêpe. I'm not sure how I would even judge what a sweet crêpe is. I don't, you know. I mean, the cookie I'm getting sweet. I guess that would be the crêpe flavor.
Maybe.
I don't know if I can talk
crepes
to a
are
crêpe.
what, like, I mean,
It's like a thin pancake.
Yeah. I mean, essentially,
Bobby.
I think it's a French.
It's a half a pancake, man.
It's a French pancake,
yeah,
right?
it is. They couldn't finish it, so they made it really thin, and they threw some jelly and fruit on it and some whipped cream, and they called it a crepe.
Yeah.
And they charge like, 3 times the amount for a pancake.
Well, it's because it's bigger.
So I think we're ready to do a little ice.
Ice. Yes.
I think that sounds great.
Yep.
All right. 1 second.
Damn it.
All right. Mike D's going to go grab it because someone forgot it.
Drop the ball.
Well, it happens.
All right, you know.
But I was telling Travis earlier, they do Chattanooga Whiskey does a 99 rye
Okay.
that is really, really good.
That sounds
Probably one of my favorites of theirs I've had. The 91, their like flagship's really good, and I think they'll just get better because they're still young.
Yeah.
You know,
Are they
it's like-
all around the same price point as this one?
No, because I think these are specialty series, so these might be a little bit more.
Okay.
I feel like the 40, 45 is what like they're like the 91 and the cask 111 are. And they kind of go up from there. When I was back home, I bought like an experimental barrel,
Okay.
and that one was a little bit more. It was like 70, but it was 121 proof. So
Oh, wow.
That's crazy.
All right, let's get some whiskey going in here.
And it definitely did finish on the smoky side.
yeah, you get a little smoky.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the smoke's at
it's
the
very
end there,
nice.
but it's not overtaking smoke. I'm not a smoky guy. I'm not the peaty smoky guy in general.
Yeah, that bottle I bought when I was back home, it definitely had like a very smoky Scotch-esque kind of finish on it.
Yeah.
I'm actually really excited to try this on ice. This is, neat. This is good.
Yeah.
I like this neat
Yeah,
already.
it's good.
Honestly, I think it's worth. You said it was like 52.
52.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
actually.
I would not be unhappy if I bought this
No,
myself.
not at all. It's definitely, it's complex. Like the flavor profiles, it's not what I've ever experienced.
Yeah, it's
right?
different.
And pulling stuff out of it is fun.
And they do a blend with this.
Okay.
So I think it's 4 different mash bills they do when they produce this. And they're all listed online, but you'd have to get like real nerdy
Right.
to get like the actual ingredients.
Yeah.
And that smoke really comes out with the ice, in my opinion. That smoke really opens up more,
Kinda
which
releases.
is still, once again, not a heavy smoke, which is really good.
No, it's just there. It's on the palate, kind of in the back. Like as you're taking that, swallowing it, it's kind of there.
I think the sweet comes out more too.
That's true,
This is really good. Like this is like neat was good, but this is on ice for me.
Yeah.
This is definitely an on ice sipper.
You can definitely smell the oatmeal cookie now.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't really get it before because it was kind of like spicy, and you got like kind of alcohol smell.
Kind of get a little bit of that heat.
And
yeah.
now that's so mellowed out. You
Yeah.
can actually smell that.
Yeah.
That's really nice.
Like this is really tasty. And, it's got nice legs to it when you swirl it around. It's a nice light color amber. This is really good. Thank you. This is the first of our. If this is the first of our journey tonight, this is going to be a great
great
night.
night.
Yeah, this is gonna be crazy.
it's gonna be
This
a
is
great
going to be a great night because this is really really good.
It's gonna be awesome.
This is very tasty. I like this on ice. I highly suggest this. Once again, everybody out there for a gift. I think you could bring this to somebody who's a whiskey person, likes their whiskey, and you could feel good handing this to them.
Especially histories with the whiskey.
Yes.
Because that's really cool history.
Yeah.
Like the fact that there was a little, period of 102 years.
100, yeah, only 102 years.
102
since
years
the last time they distilled legally.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
In
I'm
Chattanooga.
sure there was a lot of illegal
Oh, come
stuff
on.
going
You got to
Bootleggers
remember
go.
that
Yeah.
the Smoky Mountains run right through the city. So
Right, right.
I'd bootleg too if the Smokies were
Yeah.
right there.
Using the old school stock cars.
Yeah.
What started stock car racing was the moonshining and
Yeah.
the Prohibition stuff.
I know all about that.
But this
Yeah,
is,
this is
this
fantastic.
This is really cool. It's cool you're from that area. Like, you have that history from being there, which is really cool. And
Yeah, I mean, I probably like it more just because it's from my hometown. Now, I will say when I first moved to South Florida, we were going to due south,
Okay.
Yeah.
and we went there, and then we went to I don't know if it's Copper Point,
Copper Point,
Copper
yep.
Point right there. And so, excuse me, I was Copper Point. When you go inside behind the bar, there's like a big open mirror.
Yes.
and then inside they were aging some beer, and they actually had a Chattanooga whiskey barrel, which was,
they're
that's
aging
awesome.
it in that. Oh,
yeah.
that's really cool.
And that, I mean, this was 10 plus years ago.
That's awesome.
That was pretty cool.
It's sad Due South closed. That doesn't
Yeah.
make any sense to me.
I don't
They
understand
closed.
it.
Because they were a
I
popular.
heard there was
beer.
something with a nasty divorce.
Oh, is that what it was?
That's what I heard.
So I like Copper Point too. I like them both. Don't get me wrong.
But Due South was always
Due
like
South,
the
man, that caramel ale was so good.
yeah.
That's really a shame. They still have some at Total Wine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
they're
they're
still-
still
Well, I think they're still producing. They just got rid of the
storefront.
storefront.
Oh, really?
I don't think they're producing as much.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, because that was also just like a brewery too, right? The
Yeah.
storefront. So
Yeah. Well, the difference between like Due South versus Copper Point. Due South was just more warehouse industrial style. Where
There was more to do.
But where Copper Point actually had an actual kind of finished bar inside.
Yeah.
You know, so that was a big difference. But they both had, like, I think we went upstairs at Copper Point. They had like the games upstairs. You could play, cornhole, stuff like that. And that Due South, that was just outside. Like you just
Yeah.
walked around.
Yeah, the fans going, you could play
they had
bags.
picnic tables. You know, it was just.
So the sad
go
part
hang
is I
out.
never actually got to go to Due South before they closed. I never,
Really?
yeah, I never
You
made
never
it down
went?
there. Never made it down there.
Oh, that's great.
And as soon as I heard it closed, I was like, well, what the hell, man?
Yes. Well, you never knew what you were missing. So
Yeah, but now I'm hearing about it.
Yeah, right. No, I was like, I know everything about it.
it was fun because you could take the kids. They could play the games outside. It wasn't like you're in a bar.
I did hear that they did like a food truck thing too.
Yeah, they always had food trucks every day.
Oh yeah, one time I went to Copper Point. I had to bring back some stuff to Florida Decor before they had one over here in Gardens, and I decided to shoot by there. I was going to get some growlers, and it was like this Cuban food truck out there, and the guy was making some type of pulled pork, and they had like fried plantains on top of it, and the guy goes,
sounds
"You want a
good.
fried egg on top of that?" I'm like, "Yeah."
Never deny a fried egg.
Right.
on
I'm
top
like,
of
yeah.
something.
So I get that, I bring it inside. I was like, do you have like a coffee porter? And they did. And so
Oh,
the woman,
that's-
she put next to me, the lady goes, listen, do you mind if I stick a picture of this and I throw it on our page and the beer's on us? I'm like, absolutely.
Of course.
And they're like, she's like, come here for brunch. Coffee porter and whatever that dish was called with a fried egg on top.
Oh, man.
And it was amazing. And
I
they,
bet.
that dish was, it had like pork, onion, cilantro.
That's like a pro move right there.
Yeah,
man.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's
And I
a
got
foodie
lucky.
move.
And she actually bought me 2 beers, which was really good.
Even
That's all I
better.
needed.
Even better.
Yeah. Like I was supposed to come right home. I come home like hour and a half later.
You don't understand.
Had
It was
a
an
flat
impromptu,
tire,
you know,
impromptu photo shoot.
I had the 2 beers, and I had like one more beer after. Then I got 2 growlers. You know, it's just I came home, I was a little,
Yeah, you know.
Sunday morning lit up.
It's
All
a
right.
Sunday fun day.
So I think we should move on to our next adventure here.
Yeah.
So since you brought the
Where should we go in this
which,
adventure?
Which direction should we go to? We should go to Taylor. Should we go to Granddad? Do a little Evan.
Yeah, what are you feeling?
I say we do. Well, since none of you guys have had the Evan, let's do that
Okay.
All right.
because this is going to be the cheapest bottle.
Okay.
But I think everybody will be really surprised.
You know, and I love these bottles because they had the 100 proof bottled in bond. Like I feel like this is like specialty. Like like this has been
Well,
like
I mean, I see the thing I like about the whole bottled and bond experience is every distillery, right? They have their own craft, their own way of doing it. And then the bottled and bond, it just kind of it makes it so it's a level playing field.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's like everyone has to produce the exact same way and do the exact same stuff. And so it's like it's almost like your guardrails are up higher and you have to try to make a really good whiskey within those guardrails.
Yeah.
And I like that. I like
Yeah.
the idea of the challenge, right?
yeah.
Sure.
Well, and plus, back in the end, we talked about this before, like when we did our Old Forester stuff and talked about the doctor. I think that was also this bottle and bond thing came about because there was such crap whiskey going on out there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, 100%.
I mean, poisonous. Like
You've heard the name
it would kill you.
bathtub gin for
Yeah.
a reason.
Right, right.
Cooking it through old radiators and stuff.
Actually, there's a show on History Channel called The Food That Made Us,
Okay.
and I'm not going to go deep into it, but Heinz Corporation was pushing for like an FDA, like a food drug, standards in food, and
I mean, that makes sense.
so when they were lobbying Congress, I think they got to the president and they brought a bottle. They knew the president. I forgot what president it was. He was a bourbon drinker. So he brings him his bottle with no label on it, and the guy was like, "Oh, thank you for bringing me bourbon." He was like, "Wouldn't you like to know if that bourbon was actually good? Like it wasn't made with formaldehyde or was it made with unnatural ingredients?" And the guy stopped and looked at it.
Food coloring or
Yeah.
whatever
Right.
else. Yeah.
And he goes, "That's why we're pushing for this act, So I don't know how much they had to do with the whole bottled and bond part of it, but
I'm sure that's part of it.
But they were really pushing for to get rid of all these bad foods and all, because they actually cared about their product.
Well, people were getting sick.
Yes,
people were going blind.
Yeah.
I mean, it's something had to be done.
So Evan Williams got an interesting history too. Mr. Evan Williams himself was a natural born leader, inventor, and entrepreneur. He worked in numerous trades, businessman, politician, and most notably, a whiskey distiller. In 1783, he founded Kentucky's first commercial distillery on the banks of the Ohio River, bottled in Bardstown, Kentucky, and the product is distilled at Heavens Hill Distillery to this day in Louisiana, Kentucky. So interesting little history
Bardstown.
there. But say it wrong, Bardstown. Say it wrong.
Bardstown.
It's
Yeah.
Bardstown. Okay, yeah, you got to correct Mike. I take words and destroy them all the time.
Well,
he knows this.
The cool thing is, if you look on the bottle, it supposedly has his original signature, and
Over there, yeah, look at that, yeah.
it's really terrible. So he must have been very smart,
Yes.
right?
Oh, yes.
Because they say, doctors' handwriting's terrible, and they're obviously smart people. So,
He added a
So
lot
my
of
handwriting's
loops.
terrible, so I'm a genius.
yeah, I mean that's obviously not true because my handwriting is really bad as well. But
Right?
He added a lot of loops to the E, and then I don't know where the S went.
'Cause I've never really claimed intelligent life up here, ever, so, All right, so our flavor profiles for our Evan Williams should be a caramel, vanilla, oak, barley, citrus, and black pepper.
Okay.
So I'm expecting this to be spicy,
Yeah.
Although it's got a nice smell to it. It's got a
does.
very nice, pleasant, soft smell to it.
Well, when you first poured it, right, it was very spicy,
Yeah.
like on the front, on the nose, but it's calmed down after letting it sit in the glass here for a second.
That pepper's there. That pepper's definitely there. It gives it that spice to it, but that pepper's there. It takes it and it sits on the top of your tongue, the tip of your tongue. And you get the hints of vanilla. You get the hints of that oak and that barley and the caramel a little bit. More vanilla right now for me than caramel.
So I'm getting caramel because I can almost taste like a butteriness.
yeah, a little bit.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, but here's the thing: for $17,
That's not. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
you could drink it neat.
yeah.
You definitely can drink it on ice.
Yeah.
Or you can use it to make an old fashioned.
And I was going to ask you. Actually, I meant to ask you about Chattanooga. Would you ever use Chattanooga to make a cocktail, or that's just straight up? I don't know if I would. I'm just curious if.
I mean, I think you could. I don't know if I'd use this one to make a cocktail, but like, the 91 for sure.
Okay.
Their flagship.
And, yeah, and I can see how the Evan Williams would be good for a cocktail.
This is ridiculously good, and
Yeah.
it's $17.
$17.
I can't believe it's only $17 a bottle. I
And
can't
when you
believe
look at the
that.
label, it looks like you think it's not going to be good. It's not fancy. It's nothing.
It's literally just a white label.
Just a white
it says
label.
Evan Williams on
Yeah,
it.
I mean that's the name, Evan Williams White Label.
Like that's it. No, that's a fantastic whiskey especially
Yeah,
for
it's got a
17.
great finish too.
Yeah.
It really does. That is really tasty.
Yeah, I mean it's thin. It's not like super.
No, it
complex.
doesn't stick
No,
around.
and
for
once
its
again,
own
it's
long
got a little
time,
bit darker amber maybe than the other one we just had.
It's about the same,
I
I
think
think.
yeah, about the same maybe. You think your thumb was there? That's why I saw the darker part of it.
Could be. Well, with Bottle and Bond, they're all going to be at least 4 years.
Yep.
Right.
And I would say, for sure, with the Chattanooga, the Evan Williams, and probably the Old Granddad, they're like right at 4 years.
Yeah.
Because
Right.
Evan Williams is producing as much as possible. Chattanooga's a small distillery, and they're relatively new in the game, so it's not like they have a stockpile
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
10-year-old barrels sitting around.
Right. I like the Evan Williams small batch bourbon that they have.
Yeah.
It's like it's a couple of years ago, maybe like 4 or 5 years ago. It won best bourbon under 30,
That's awesome.
and you've had it at my house. I've had it here, and it's in my rotation. Maybe a little bit more off lately than on, but it's been in my rotation. That
Well,
that small batch.
I don't see it
You don't see it?
like at the store.
Since I haven't looked to buy it recently, I can't answer that.
Because there used to be a lot of other their variations, like their
Okay.
single barrel and stuff that was pretty regularly on the shelf, and I just don't. Maybe it's because we're in Florida.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't see it as much.
So do you think Evan Williams is going to become the next Old Forester? Where it's kind of cheap now, but it's going to start gaining popularity and kind of take off? Because, I mean, this is a good enough whiskey where I would be comfortable paying $30-$40 for a bottle.
Yeah,
Like,
if you told
I
me-
wouldn't.
Yeah, if you told me this was $30 a bottle, I'd be like, oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it's like, do you think they're going to get to that point, you think?
I don't think so because they have their Heaven Hill line. Like they have
Yeah.
a bunch of different lines
Yeah.
that they produce. Like their Heaven Hill Bottle and Bond is really good,
Okay.
really good. Now it's, I think, triple the price. I think I had a bottle. shattered on the floor. But
Oh yeah.
know.
So,
Yeah.
for our listeners out there, poor Jacob.
Is it like
His
a year
collection
ago?
took a massive
Spill.
spill.
No pun intended.
Off his shelf onto the floor, and probably 90% of your collection was like destroyed.
yeah,
Yeah, I think you
Yeah,
sent me,
there
you
was
sent me a
actually-
picture, and I weeped. I was like, that's
Well, we learned a couple of good lessons. Is that one? I'm not a craftsman. I built the shelves. I put them up. They were there for about 2 years.
No.
As I slowly collected more and more, and I have small children, so I had them up high, so they couldn't get
Right.
get into it. And that all came crashing down.
yeah, that was a sad picture. And you built your collection back up kind of quickly. I'm
Working
guessing.
on it,
Yeah.
slowly.
Okay.
Yeah, it's something you can't really rush.
And now you do the ABC thing too, right?
Yeah.
Where you you joined their club.
Yeah, so talk about that. What is that
Yeah, so
ABC?
ABC, Total Wine does it. Everybody does it, but Total Wines is you have to spend a lot more to really get much out of it.
Yeah.
But ABC, they do the vault, so
Okay.
you accrue like 5,000 points and you become a gold key member.
Okay.
And then a couple times a year, you get an email, and it says, hey, it's
Our
your
vault's
vault
open.
time. Vault's open, and you can go on and they'll have a lot of different stuff available. I've
Okay.
picked up Eagle Rare, I've picked up Weller, I picked up the E.H. Taylor. We're gonna try.
Are they still exclusively for Weller? They're still exclusive.
heard that
I think
recently,
ABC is the exclusive
Yeah, because
distributor
Yeah, for
for Weller, at least in Florida. That
Okay.
changes in different markets.
Okay.
yes, I know I got it through my online club, Flaviar.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering if they did it through ABC.
Yeah, they might have.
Because I got that, you saw that bottle we shared
Yeah.
it before, and that was
Yeah,
really good. And they're that EJ Weller stuff is, or is it? No, it's not EJ. It's EH.
Well,
EH
WL.
WL Well, yeah. And that if you could get a hand of any of those bottles,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter which one you get. You're not, you can't go wrong. It doesn't matter what price point you want to.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And those are all Buffalo Trace products.
Okay. Yeah, they have a big family.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have a very big family.
Yeah, the E.H. Taylor, Buffalo Trace, Blanton's, Eagle Rare.
This got so much better on ice, though, in my opinion.
All right.
I
Wow,
think it smooths it out.
it's not like it was bad before, but I think it took it up to a whole nother level, though.
Well, you can definitely smell more vanilla now.
Yes, yeah.
Like you can
You
definitely
can,
pull
you
that
can
out.
taste it too.
I can't get over that's only $17 a bottle. I honestly, I cannot believe that's $17 a bottle.
Oh, you
that's
are
crazy.
not lying.
Yeah,
That vanilla is like bam.
Yeah.
Bam, right in
yeah.
the face. Yeah. Yeah, I've turned on quite a few different people into that.
And the
Yeah.
pepper's still there, but it's much more lighter now. Like there's pepper in there, but it's not like
Yeah,
it's
it's
where
just
it was.
a
It was
light
just
finish.
Yeah, but that's how it is with any whiskey. I think when you
Yeah.
add an ice, that anything that's spicy usually kind of dials way back, and all the sweet stuff kind of comes forward.
yeah.
Or I shouldn't say sweet. I should say lighter flavors. Although I was impressed when we were drinking it neat, you really could pull out the buttery notes, like
Yeah.
of the caramel and stuff like that.
I think you
was
kind of
really
lose the
good.
butter.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
the butter
lose
went
it.
away. That
The
butter went
vanilla
away.
comes
But
out.
yeah, the vanilla shows up. Caramel kind of dips, and then the pepper.
Maybe a little
makes
bit of
its way
caramel in the finish.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is really tasty on ice. I mean, anybody out there, buy this for somebody.
I mean, it's
Buy it for yourself.
$17.
But buy it for
And
somebody.
it's even cheaper in some areas.
Like that's crazy.
MSRP, I think, is like 15 to 17.
Like
Wow.
this right here is such a good whiskey for that price point.
Yeah.
I can't believe it's $17. Like honestly, it's kind of blowing my mind
Yeah,
right now.
no, I'm very, very impressed with that selection right
Yeah,
there.
I'm a big wild turkey guy myself.
I like
Okay.
wild turkey.
Yeah, like Wild Turkey 101.
Okay.
Rare breed. Like I really enjoy those. And it's very similarly priced to the
Yeah.
Wild Turkey, but yeah, $17. You can't.
You can't go
beat it.
wrong at all.
No.
Yeah. You should just have it around the house.
Yeah.
You got friends coming
Yeah.
over.
Yeah, this is
You're
definitely
gonna
one.
make some cocktails. Like,
Yeah.
bam. there
Or
you
someone
go.
just wants to drink neat.
Because this would be.
Someone's
this-
drinking on
I think
ice.
this would be a good Manhattan. This would be a good.
This would be a good mix.
Yeah, you want a
Yeah,
little bit more
whiskey.
proof than like a typical 86
Right.
or
Yeah, you
whatever.
you need something that adds.
So
a
when
little
you
bit.
water it down, you still get some of that flavor, which is
Yeah.
why I like the Wild Turkey 101 because it's got the proof. So if you're mixing it in a cocktail, like it's going to have the
there.
flavor.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I bought some of that bitter milk.
Okay.
Yeah, I made a couple of fashions with it. It's
Heck
good.
yeah.
It's
It
good.
is.
It's a good quick
It's
old
easy,
fashioned.
right?
Yes. And it's got good
Yeah.
flavor. They do tend to go down kind of fast too. Once you get going down on those things, they're
Can be a problem. That
can be a problem. Can be a good
Yeah.
problem. Yeah, but that was always been a house favorite. I mean, we did our show a couple weeks ago,
Yep.
the mixologist one. But yeah, you can't go wrong with that bitter milk. It's just a quick way to make it old fashioned.
Yeah, I still need to pick up some of the other stuff though.
That proof was
the
really
proof
good.
was really good.
Yeah, that proof was really
I have
good.
to check that out.
Yeah, you gotta check it, but that you can't find at Total Wine. I had to get that on Amazon.
Okay.
And the bottle is like $30 for that bottle because it's a bigger bottle.
But I mean, it is a bigger bottle, and it makes
last.
twice the amount.
Right, it's gonna last.
Yeah. So I think it's worth it.
Yeah.
It's good.
This is a really good whiskey.
Man. Once again, Jacob, thank you. You're doing really well tonight, by the way.
Great.
I think you're setting a bar for any future guests.
I know, right?
Right?
Hey, I'm honored to be the first guest here.
Good luck, everybody.
Okay, so we've done Chattanooga, done Evan Williams. So what would be next in your path for us tonight?
I say we do the Old Granddad next.
All right.
Old Grand. I like the name Old Granddad.
Right.
Actually, I like the whole bottle. Like, I like the label. I like the bottle design.
The picture of the Old Granddad is Basil Hayden Sr.
That's correct.
And that's and there's that Basil Hayden bourbon out there too.
And that's the same mash bill.
Same that. Okay.
As the Old
Because
Granddad.
that Basil Hayden is really good.
And a lot of people say it's the exact same. It's just a little bit of a higher proof, which I think is kind of the knock on Basil Hayden because you're going to spend almost $60 a bottle for Basil Hayden, and it's like 82 or 83, something around there, 80. And this, it's 100 proof. So now, Mike, like I said, I think you'll like this one because it is the highest rye content of any of these.
Okay.
I do like my ryes.
Right. So you definitely get that spice.
All right.
A funny story. When I think about Old Granddad, it reminds me when I was in college. We went to a university which is near. I went to University of Tennessee, Chattanooga, and up in the mountains. I won't say the university because I don't want to, throw shade on anybody. But I was also in a fraternity. We went to university up in the mountains, and they were having like their initiation week. Okay, and so typically in a lot of fraternity houses, they'll have like what's called the composite pictures, which is where they have photos of everybody.
Yeah.
Now the funny thing about this school was that if you looked at 1960, and then you just kept looking all the way through to whatever year it was we were there, which was 20-something years ago, everybody looked the same.
Okay.
Huh.
The outfits were the same. The hairstyles were the same. So this was 20 years ago. Everybody had scraggly beards.
Yeah.
They were wearing seersucker and, funky ties and, very 70s, 60s-esque attire.
Okay.
So long story short, when the whole thing was over, these guys, they got a little wild. So there might have been a bed over the balcony on the roof, a couple of TVs.
Okay.
Okay. And this was 8 o'clock in the morning. So this was early. And the next thing you know, there was the naked guy.
Of course.
And the naked guy was running around. Yeah.
Fraternity,
Yeah,
so
always
it's not
naked.
like a guy.
Yeah. And I mean, trust me, he had a full sweater on. Okay. Full sweater.
Awesome.
His beard went all the way down to his toes. And he was running around with a bottle of Old Granddad.
Oh, that's so funny.
And they had like a trash can full of ice and beer in it. And of course, that's where he went. So he jumped into that trash can and was cold plunging long before cold plunge was a thing. But Old Granddad, that's what I think about.
That is funny.
Now, then I tried it again 20 years later, and I was like, oh, wow.
This is actually good.
This is actually good.
So this guy didn't ruin it for you in the end.
He didn't ruin it for me, but for many years, you see on the shelf, I'm like, oh, man, that stuff's terrible. Because I remember drinking out of the bottle at 8 in the morning, and I was just like, oh.
Well, yeah, you're doing it at the wrong time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this Old Granddad has a good history too. So I mentioned his name, Basil Hayden Sr. was and he was known as Old Granddad to the generations that followed, that made bourbons the way he wanted to. He went against the traditional grain of the time and chose to distill his bourbon with a higher percentage of rye. Hence why this is
27%.
Right. And this way of crafting bourbon was likely something he handed down to his sons and in turn his grandsons. And this is why how Colonel R.B. Hayden would justify the name of this bourbon after his old granddad. So that's kind of cool.
Pretty cool story.
And the recipe today remains inspired by basil's original with the complexity flavors and then the unmistakable spiciness. It was first bottled in 1892, and very little has changed about it since then. But now it's currently being distilled by Jim Beam. So Jim Beam now took that over. So that's kind of cool. I mean, that's a good history. Like, you know, this guy was an innovator of his time.
Yeah.
You know, changing the way. And I like when you hear those stories about they want to do it differently than everybody else.
Right.
You know, and so and our flavor profile tonight would be vanilla, dark fruits, spice, oat, caramel, and vanilla, and once again pepper.
I get all of that. That is
It's got a good smell
spot
too, man.
on.
Yeah, this has got
That
a really
flavor
good smell.
profile is spot on. That is so good. The fruit is really prominent. Right in the middle, it sits heavy right in the middle of the fruit. And then as soon as you drink it, it's caramel and the vanilla and everything else comes through. Man, that's good.
$25.
Yeah. How much?
Yeah.
25.
That's it?
Yeah.
This is better than the Evan Williams in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm gonna put this ahead of Evan Williams right now, and I haven't even tried it on ice yet.
Oh, yeah.
So I mean, like you were dead on it. This is gonna probably be one of my favorites for the night.
Yeah.
And like I could see me with my cigar tonight, really enjoying this with a glass of ice, you know, and chilling out. We'll put the NCA on.
There you go.
Right.
You know, and shout out to FAU real quick. Rank number 9. They beat Tennessee last night.
That's right.
Go figure.
Yeah.
Right. Go figure. Because we're doing a lot of whiskeys from that area right now. So let's go FAU. I always like the underdogs that make the story. They're the Elite 8. I think Miami's playing tonight, which I'm not a big Miami University fan, but their basketball program has no history. So the fact that they're still alive, I'm kind of rooting for them, you know, just because like I like the underdog story.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
You know, and I you know, I'm not a huge basketball fan, but I love tournament style sports of any kind. You know, I like the World Cup.
Well, when the money's on the line. You
Yeah,
know,
it's like because
it's always more.
And college has such a different vibe as a sporting event and pros. You know, the fans are it's much more heart from the fans. You know, they get much more into it as a fan base goes. So I love the whole March Madness.
There's still some rules that make them act and behave in certain accord.
Exactly.
Unlike the pros where it's
If you can get away with it, you get away with it.
anything goes unless a cop sees you.
Right. But this is so tasty, man. Like all those
Yeah,
flavors.
I figured you'd like that rye spice.
Yeah. You know, actually, I was just thinking, Mike D,
Yes.
when we do our next Battle of the Rise,
we're throwing this in the
I think Michter's in this one.
we'll put you mean like an ultimate fight. Like we already know we
Like
have
a
one
cage
champ.
match.
Like the Mixers is the champion, and we're bringing in the challenger.
You gotta try
the number one contender.
Have you had the 114?
Which one?
No.
Old Granddad.
No.
No,
It's good.
I'll be honest with you.
And that one's $33, something like that.
I'll be
That's
honest.
crazy.
I think this is my first time ever drinking an Old Granddad of any
Same.
sorts.
Same.
Maybe because like what you said, like when the time you saw it on the thing, like I think of Old Overholt,
Yeah,
right? Which that is Ethel.
it is. Yeah, I bought a bottle
Like,
just to try it.
So I think when I saw that, I think I just had some kind of opinion that was not
Sure.
even
A natural
you know,
version
just
to.
Have you had the Rittenhouse rye?
no.
It's good. You
I've
should
had-
try
I
it.
think I've had the Rittenhouse.
Have you? I think that guy last night was talking to us about Rittenhouse. Yeah. We had a
And
good
it's
bartender
cheap.
last night.
It's
so
cheap.
yeah.
21,
Yeah,
23.
it's not expensive at all.
Yeah. Especially if you're going to be making some cocktails for some friends.
Oh, man, let's ice up here, boys.
That's
Let's ice
a great,
up.
It's a great selection.
I mean, I like the fact that you brought us a very varied price point
Yes.
of whiskeys here, because it does showcase. You know, usually we're in the 30s, right? Like that's our minimum usually is 30, right?
Yeah.
And then we usually hit a 50, and then we usually go 70 and above, right? That's typically where we're at. But there are really, really good whiskeys for under $20.
I mean, I'm a budget kind of guy.
We are too.
Yeah.
I mean, since we started doing this podcast, I think we've been treating ourselves a little bit too good. But you have to, because we want to try different things and really experience
Yeah.
different things that are out there. But like, this was what, 25 you said
I think
ish?
it was about 25.
25.
that's a
I
good
mean,
I think I actually paid a little bit more, but I didn't buy it at Total Wine. So
Oh, where'd you get it at?
I think I bought it at the liquor store by Publix.
oh, okay.
And they've really upped their game on this selection.
You know who upped their game too? It was Costco.
Did.
Since they opened up the new liquor area.
It's a lot bigger.
They have a lot more choices too. Ones I was actually surprised that they had.
I got 2 different Maker's Marks.
Yes, they
there.
have that, yep.
I got a Four Roses.
Yeah, 2 different Four Roses too.
I got a George Dickel 8-year there. It was like $26.
Yeah,
What?
yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
That's some pretty good price points right there.
I like Dickel too, man. I like
It
I like
is.
I like
I mean, the
Dickel
Makers were a
rye.
little bit. They were more than that.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, well,
But the Four Roses was in the 30s. I
yeah,
think.
yeah, it was very
Maybe-
reasonably
maybe
priced.
40.
I think one was 40. I think one was like in the 30s because they had 2 different ones. They had a
Yeah.
small batch and they had the regular one.
Yeah.
Dang.
But before it was they had like Costco vodka,
Yeah,
Yeah.
French Costco vodka, Captain Morgan's.
right. It was that vodka was not made in the factory of Grey Goose,
No.
or who knows.
Yeah.
You know one thing I didn't see there, which maybe I just wasn't paying attention because I was just so impressed with what I was seeing. Because I'm a Scotch guy. They used to have the Kirkland 19-year-old Scotch.
I haven't seen a lot of the Kirkland products besides the vodka there.
Right.
Really?
I didn't see the Kirkland bourbon either, which they used to have.
Because I was
Kirkland
told that that's 1792.
Really?
And I think supposedly on the label, I think a lot of those Costco brands, they'll tell you who produced it.
Yeah, I think they have to, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, with ice, though, we're going to jump back to Old Granddad real quick. That ice really, and this is what I was expecting.
Yeah.
Honestly, this is hitting exactly where I thought it was going to go after tasting it neat.
For me, it is way better with ice because it mellows out the spice a little bit. Because I'm not a huge rye
That
fan.
spice does,
At
yeah, that
this
spice
point-
goes away.
At this point, I'm not a huge rye fan. That might change. I used to be.
I don't know. Like,
I mean, the pepper's still there.
still
Vanilla
there.
caramel comes out.
all right,
Maybe the heat.
I'm going to go against the grain.
Uh-oh.
I personally liked neat better. I thought like the complexity of the flavor was there. So you got like I literally tasted every little thing
Yeah.
that
I
Mike
can
D
see
was
that.
saying like in the flavor profile. I was like, I taste all of it. Now it's kind of dulled down too much, right? Like,
Yeah.
I don't get all of the profiles, like the dried fruit. That's kind of gone away.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right?
it did.
There's a little pepperiness there. There's a little butteriness maybe from caramel or something like that, maybe vanilla, right? But there's not. I liked it better neat.
So I'm going to jump ship and hang out with Jacob on this one. I like it better with the ice. But I mean, I have to admit, I tend to like my whiskeys on ice in general.
Yeah.
I mean, I do have some neat half the time, but I do like the coldest water mixing in. But I mean, this is really good. This right now, this I think Chattanooga is kind of its own category.
It's very different.
It's a very different type of whiskey. I think that the Evan Williams was really good, but this Old Granddad really just. This is my favorite right now.
Yeah.
Of the 3 so far.
Called it.
Yeah, this is my favorite right now. This is really. I mean, I'm very impressed with this one. Old Granddad. I love the picture. It's just like this.
I'm actually going to buy a bottle of this now.
Oh
Yeah, you should.
It's,
yeah.
It's going to happen.
I mean,
Now,
I'm sure
I've never
Total Wine
tried
has it. I'm sure ABC Liquor has it. If I had to take a guess.
Yeah, I think they both carry it.
Speaking of ABC Liquor, I went there a couple weeks ago, and you know what I found? And we probably actually, I'm going to pull it out for us tonight. Bullet is making these pre-made
Yeah.
cocktails now in the cans.
They make two.
Manhattans, and they make Old Fashioned. I bought the Old Fashioned one. It's been sitting in my refrigerator, so I think I forgot all about that. But I've never seen that before.
Right? Maybe crack some tonight. We'll
We'll definitely try a little bit of that tonight. Yeah, although we had a lot of Old Fashions last night.
That's all right. I'm always up for an experimental one.
Say
yeah.
you want to get back on the horse that bucked you.
Oof, yeah, we definitely got to get back. That horse
I never
was,
got bucked.
that horse was running last night, man. We were racehorsing last night, man. It was we made a lot of turns, if you will.
Sure. Hey, bucked you.
It was the first. I think it was the first 500 racehorse ever, like with Daytona
right.
500 racehorsing.
Yeah.
We were definitely we were in good form last night.
Yes,
actually,
we were.
Good bartenders, good cocktails last night.
And you guys said you went where?
We went to the locale gastropub
Okay.
in Lake
Yeah, that's
Park.
right.
You guys got to go there. Great bartenders, really knowledgeable. Our bartender knew a lot about the business, about the whiskey business.
It was actually really cool. His name was Brett.
His name was Brett. He knew his stuff. He knew about it. It was funny because my friend's in town and he's in the whiskey business too, in the bar business. Like they were both talking about like how dirty the distillers are, the distributors are, and how dirty the business really is behind the scenes. Like we don't know it. You probably know a little bit of dealing with it.
I do, yeah.
So
you got to buy A, B, and C to get what you really want.
Right.
Yeah. Kickbacks. And,
So it was this good conversation here, and like their takes on how things are out there, and like they were kind of joking around. Like sometimes there's a fire that jacks the price up on something, or some barrel spill that causes like them not to have as much as they should, so they jack the price up. They're talking about all these little things that are going on in the business.
Well, everything's so different now. I'm in the business. I've been in the business for almost 20 years now. But years ago, it was you had a rep that you dealt with, and it was a lot of not necessarily handshake deals, but things were less regulated. Not in a bad way.
Yeah.
If you needed something, hey, pick this up for me. Here's some stuff for you. But they've really cracked down on a lot of that stuff now. So it's
a lot harder.
Well, the relationship's gone. Now you might as well just do it on the computer.
Right.
Place your order on the computer. There's no interaction. It's just not the same.
You're getting the same deal with it, whether you're talking to the guy or not at this point. It's the same. You're not getting that much of a thing.
Yeah, and years ago, I think they had a little bit more leeway, a little more play.
Yeah. Take care of you sometimes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Give you a bottle for yourself, like, hey, thanks.
Sure, that, or you're doing some event for your team, and you want to give out some prizes. Oh yeah, no problem. And they'd actually show up with decent stuff. Now it's very different now.
Well,
now you two guys have something in common.
What's that?
You two guys are gun enthusiasts.
Yeah.
Somewhat,
right?
Yeah.
Right. You got a couple.
I got a few. I actually just picked up a new one over the weekend at the gun show down south.
Yeah.
Picked up the SIG M18.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm actually working on getting the red dot. It's coming in Tuesday.
And you said that was military?
That's the one that's currently being used by the military, yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
They replaced did they use the Beretta or did they use the Glock?
Probably a Glock.
The Glock I think it was a Glock.
Someone shooting guns behind us right now.
Someone's going crazy.
Someone's shooting guns behind us right now. Boys, get your.
I didn't bring any. I'm drinking.
We're right across the street.
Right across the street. We'll grab the whiskey. And barricade ourselves
in the whiskey closet.
I got shotguns.
In the whiskey closet, right?
Yeah, whatever you need over there.
I'm sure your wife's like, "What are you guys doing?"
Don't worry about it.
That would probably not go over too well.
We're just hiding
My gun safe is in the bedroom, so you're not going to be.
So, how many guns do you have, Jacob?
Well, I've got a lot of like from like my grandfather passed down to my dad, and then my dad gave them to me. So I have probably 5 or 7 that are like collector's items, if you will. Nice. So it's something I would never shoot.
Okay.
And then I probably have another 10 or so of my own, including some handguns and stuff. Okay. So but I'm kind of a budget with everything. So like I've got like a nice like long distance or hunting rifle.
Yep.
Well, I say nice, cheap. So YouTube does a really cool like $500 500-yard rifle setup. Okay. So I kind of built something similar to that, and then I've done some add-ons to it. Then I bought an AR that I like to go shoot. And then the most recent thing I purchased, I just got a new Glock 43X.
Okay. Nice.
And I got a nice little hollow point or a little hollow sun red dot to go on top of it.
Nice. Oh wow!
So it's a nice little 9mm, shoots well. I'm not super proficient with the pistols just yet.
Yeah,
growing up, it was BB guns into 22s, and then shotguns and rifles.
Same here,
we didn't. My dad had a 357 revolver, but we never really went and shot it.
Right.
I think that's kind of where I'm at. Like, I'm kind of learning the handguns. I have a nice rifle that I just like put a scope on, put the bipod on.
Yeah.
And then I have a shotgun. Right.
Yeah.
It's
just fun.
Right.
It is.
I don't own a gun yet,
though.
and I use the word yet. So I don't have one
actually.
Yet.
There's a spot that opened up. If you go North Lake way down, we should go there sometime.
Oh, the Palm Beach shooting complex?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I've been several times.
Yeah, we should.
We
That'd be fun.
It's a lot of fun.
There's nothing more American than whiskey and guns.
Just
America.
Not together. Not together.
But they did back in the day.
Well, yeah. There's less controls.
Right. Or you lose control, maybe is a better word for that. But I think we're going to jump into our final bottle of the evening. This is the Colonel E.H. Taylor small batch bottled and bond. Do you want to take the history on this one up? You want to take the history from us? Take over the history for us?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So this is another Buffalo Trace product. They have a ton of different products that they produce. I believe this is mash bill number 1. Tasting would be caramel corn, butterscotch, licorice, spices, pepper, and tobacco.
Very nice. Okay.
Now, this is produced out of the OFC distillery, which is the old-fashioned copper distillery, which Buffalo Trace owns. And then, you know, each tailor was one of the original people that actually, I don't know if he was the first. I believe Colonel Taylor was a little bit of a wildcat, and I think Mr. Blanton was the one that kind of made Buffalo Trace what it is today. But they did, you know, name this after him. Really good. You know, at least in our market, I've never seen it.
Okay.
Okay. I got this through the vault. So for me, I paid MSRP, which I think was around $40.
And the vault is the ABC vault?
The ABC,
okay.
Yeah. But man, you know, the secondary on this stuff, like I was telling them before we started the show, it's like $150.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
You know, actually, I saw that when I was kind of doing my little research. I was finding like $140 for the prices.
Yeah.
And I know this name kind of sells at a higher mark.
And a lot of their products do, like, you know.
It smells really good, man.
It's good.
Wow.
You know, there are other products. Eagle Rare is really good. You know, Blanton's is really good, but, you know.
Blanton's is up there, too, in price.
Yeah.
But I would never pay secondary. It's not secondary good.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, it's just kind of crazy how that stuff
Oh,
took
you know what I
off.
forgot to bring?
This is a darker caramel, too. Well, no, you know what? Actually, no.
No, this is.
Yeah, it's a little bit darker. It's a little bit darker.
amber.
A little darker.
amber.
Yeah, it's got, you know, they all have the same type of legs. All four of these had the same type of leg. And by the way, we stopped using the jigger. We're just
Yeah, well, you know, it happens.
It's the last bottle of the
As soon as
night.
Jacob said Wildcat, you know, Mike D was just like,
Yeah,
all right, I'm going to
we're
hand pour this.
Wildcat right now.
Got to match the man, the myth, the legend, right?
Right? Yeah.
Well, that's actually very smooth.
Yeah.
Neat.
I mean,
Wow.
you know,
And
it's
that-
the same mash bill, I believe, as Buffalo Trace.
I mean, that spicy's there, the caramel's there, the sweet is there. The brown, I'm getting brown sugar and raisin to a certain degree. But this is really
I
smooth.
can see
though.
raisin.
I think it's maybe that kind of licorice.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that tobacco right at the end.
you
It was
get it at the
it's just
end.
like
Yeah.
popped. That was really nice.
I feel like I get that on Buffalo Trace, too.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I mean, that is actually very good.
That's really nice.
Like, this is right
But
now.
if you bought it for $140, I think you'd probably be disappointed.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, think about
$40, I think, yes.
Mike D, think back to the Redbreast 15 year that we had. That was 130. That was and I'm sorry, I forgot to bring it. I was gonna have
We're going to have you. So I got a 12-year-old we can share with him, but it's not the same. It's like
That's all right.
half of the 15.
but but it was worth the to me it was worth the $130.
Right.
Like it was ridiculous.
That was ridiculously good. Yeah.
I would agree with you. I wouldn't spend
Like, if I spent $140 on that, knowing what he spent on the Redbreast, I would be very unhappy.
Yeah.
If I spent $40 on this, I'm like, this is a great price.
Oh, it's great.
This is a
$40 is
for $40. I mean, but it really, like you said, it just depends how you get your hands
Yeah.
on it. It really does.
But I mean, I would never mix this. Like
No, this is
maybe
not a
a cube of ice,
yeah.
just because you're not going to see it.
You know what's really interesting too is how dry it is.
mixer. It is dry.
Like that
Like-
first,
like-
the
yeah.
mouthfeel is very dry.
Yeah, it makes my mouth kind of water for being so dry.
Yeah.
It's like really
It's
weird. It's
interesting.
like, yeah, it's like dry, but my mouth is like
I do
water.
like the raisins.
I think it's
do
that,
get
maybe that tobacco.
Maybe the
Yeah.
raisin tobacco is the same thing. Maybe that's where I'm getting that. in
That
there.
tobacco is kind of like an end thing, though. Like as soon as you swallow it, it kind of like explodes at the last end, right? It's like the last final kick of the whiskey
Yeah.
as it's going down. This is nice. I mean, it's good. And you said how much was the MSRP?
It's around 40.
Okay,
Okay.
like that is an acceptable price.
But I mean, you just
gotta
don't.
find
You
it.
just can't find it.
You gotta find it, right?
Yeah.
Right, but I mean, this is really, really good. I mean, once again, man, you've done a great job tonight with what you brought. I mean, you know, I have to say it like I haven't had this on ice yet, so maybe before I even talk about it, but like, old Granddad and Taylor are right now fighting each other for me,
Okay.
right? Because I really like this neat. Like, this is something I can see myself drinking neat.
That one.
Which one?
Oh,
Granddad. Old Granddad.
$25.
Yeah.
that thing killed it.
Yeah, you know what? Actually, if you compare the price against the flavor,
I mean, you can essentially get 2 bottles of that for the price.
right? You get
Yeah.
twice drunk.
Yeah.
2 times the drunk.
2 times the drunkenness, or double the less the price, half the price.
You could turn it yourself into a frat bro.
Yeah. Running around naked with your
We're going to the quad.
going to the quad.
Oh yeah. They went to the quad, buddy. Wow, that was an experience.
But this is really
nice.
good. Yeah, this is really.
Should we? I mean, you did do a heavy pour. Do you want to just throw some some ice in this one.
Yeah,
and
throw some
kinda-
ice in there. If you want me to top it all up, he needs a good man. I like the way you drink, Jake.
Jacob's like, come on, come on.
You want to go ahead?
Oh boy.
You want ice for you on this one?
Oh yeah, I probably will.
Okay.
I might need a little topper though.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
A little.
I think everybody needs.
You need a full topper.
Jacob was just showing off.
I think you just poured mine short.
Yeah, that's what it was. That's what it was.
Sure. Blame the bartender.
It's perfect.
But it's a good bottle to have. You got some good friends around.
Honestly,
You break it out, they really enjoy.
if I could find it for $40, absolutely.
Oh,
yes,
absolutely.
yes, but I would not look for this at 140.
But see, it's funny. The last vault that I was a part of, which was maybe a month and a half ago or whatever, they were selling like 47-year-old Dallimore for $12,000. Like, it was ridiculous, the stuff that popped up. And then I was about to buy something. It was like 60 or 70, and then a Weller Antique 107 popped up for $27. I was like,
that one.
easy, $27, no problem.
You only bought one?
You can only buy one.
Oh, you can only buy one.
You can only buy one thing.
Okay.
So now I have the green label, the red label, the full proof. Well,
that's cool.
I have several full
See,
proof.
Jacob's one of those things, like, he's a true collector.
Yeah.
He tries to get the actual...
Well, it just kind of started happening.
yeah.
So
Okay.
a guy,
Well, you
a guy
told
that
me-
works for me loves Eagle Rare.
Even the collection that broke for you. Like, I remember you talking about it and being like, I have these ones. Like, I get the selection of these brands, right?
Well, I'm
I
just
like
kind of
that.
trying to, get what, each person carries.
Yeah.
Now, when you get this ABC Vault thing, do you have to physically go to ABC, or they're showing it to you online?
No, it's email.
So you get the whole list on email.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's always during the middle of my lunch rush.
Right.
When I get the email. And I'm
You're
like,
like-
oh, crap. I'm like doing it on my cell phone.
Right.
Real quick. Hey, sell that check,
That's
It's perfect.
Weller Antique, sweet.
okay.
In the cart.
I just signed up for that recently. So when I had to go to ABC, which I'm not going to tell the whole story, but I had to go there, and some interesting stuff went down while I was there, which was good. But I'm now on their list. So
I need to get in on that.
yeah, and they have good. In my opinion, they have a great selection. They had some things that didn't have a Total Wine that I picked up.
Yeah, I mean, I usually go back and forth between the both of them.
Yeah.
So where's the ABC?
So it's
North Lake.
North Lake, right
okay.
across from the
There's
Duffy's.
one in Jupiter.
Okay.
There's a bunch of
I
them.
can search it.
They're all
like,
over.
like for Jacob and myself, we're like in the middle between Total Wine and ABC.
Yeah.
You're like closer to Total Wine. You could walk to Total Wine.
I
It's
could.
dangerous.
It's less than a
and then
mile away.
you'd have to. There's a little bit of a drive for you to get to ABC, but not really a
yeah.
drive.
Yeah.
But yeah, but
Or
this
traffic.
is so on ice. I think I like it better neat.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think this is actually for me.
It mellows it out too much.
Yeah, I think this would be great with a cigar, neat. Just take your time with the neat, sip it.
Actually, this would be really nice with the cigar we're having this evening, the Padron Maduro.
Oh yeah. You have a good victory cigar tonight. It was a
The Padron Maduro.
so that's going to be really good tonight.
Actually, you know what? This actually wouldn't be bad with the meal we ate either, because
Oh,
on
yeah.
ice, not
yeah.
not neat. I think on ice, this would complement the fish.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had an amazing little pairing of food tonight from a restaurant in Jupiter called Leftovers. If you live in this area, especially like the Palm Beach Gardens, Jupiter area, you know Leftovers and you know Food Shack. They're sister restaurants to each other, and they're really good for their seafood. Like, you don't go there to get steak.
No.
You don't go there for
Do
meat.
they even have steak?
No.
on the
I
menu?
think
know.
they have pork chops.
Okay.
And a hamburger. They actually have a good hamburger. I've had a hamburger from there before.
But the fish is always
Their
good.
fish is amazing.
If I go there, I'm getting fish.
Yeah, and what's cool about this place is every day is there's a brand new menu of their specials, and they get whatever fresh catch that they get.
Mm-hmm.
And so tonight we had a
was wahoo.
sweet potato crusted wahoo. Yeah. We had a parsnip, broccoli, and cheddar crusted cobia. And then we had these blue crab egg rolls. And then
Which were lights out.
yeah,
Yeah,
those were
ridiculous,
amazing. Actually,
yeah.
I'm almost sorry I didn't get two of those.
Yeah, those were ridiculous.
Yeah.
I just didn't. I didn't. When you said it, I didn't think they would be as good as they were.
Right, no, they were really good. And then they have a staple there. It's their tuna basil rolls, which were very good. But and then their fish is served over salad. So like one was like a Caesar style salad, one was more like a mixed greens type of salad, and I also got there, which is actually one of my favorite rices, a coconut rice, which is really good. So that food was really good. The sauces were really good with it. Like I said, if you want seafood, you want to get a good, have a good choice to choose from.
It's consistent.
It's consistent. Their food's very consistent. They make these seafood bowls that are just off the chain usually.
Yep.
Ask for extra bread. When they serve it to you, they don't give you enough bread. Ask for extra bread when that's a seafood bowl. But they've been around for a long time. They're a food shack location in it was more like East Jupiter, closer to the water.
Yeah, literally almost.
That's like it reminds you of like an old surfer bar.
Right off of Indian Town, I think.
Yeah. It's an old surfer bar. Leftovers is more of a restaurant style. Doesn't have that surfer bar feel, kind of surfer bar feel, but not like the other one.
A little bit, but it's more like it's like a restaurant in a shopping center, basically.
But seafood wise, look, there's lots of great restaurants around here. I'm not knocking any one of them, but if you want seafood, if that's what you're really looking for, check these guys out because their fusion stuff, the way they make their food,
it's so good.
Yeah,
and it's consistent. Like Jacob
said, very consistent
every single time.
I'm picky.
Always
you always
good.
know you're going to get what you're going to get.
Yeah. And the staff. I've never gone there where the staff has been bad. Like they're always super friendly.
No, if you sit at the little bar top with the line cooks, they're always talking to you. How's everything? They do a really good job there.
Yeah, I've had some cool conversations with them when I've gone there for lunch. And now they're serving actual liquor, alcohol.
Okay.
Before it was only beer and wine. So they actually built a bar.
Maybe we got to go check out an old-fashioned there.
Yeah, and I was watching the guys make an old-fashioned. I approve the way they did it. They had the big block of cube, which is very important.
That is important.
And this bartender, you tell he knew what he was doing. I don't know how wide the cocktail list goes, but I was watching him, and he was busy, and I'm like, okay, this guy knows what he's doing.
All right.
So I gave him a thumbs up for that immediately. So gotta check it out. Go check out Leftovers. This went great. I think you're right. The Taylor or the Granddad.
I think the Granddad for me. 100% neat.
Yeah.
The flavor was crazy.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Granddad wins tonight. Yeah. What do you guys think overall?
I don't. They're yours, man.
They're yours.
What ones do you like?
Which one mine is. I may not let you take this home. No, kidding.
Come on, Mike. It's $25.
I'll get my gun out.
You don't have one.
I think I probably actually was going to go with the Chattanooga.
Okay, that's your favorite. That's yours.
Yeah,
okay.
I don't know. It was just different.
Okay. And it is. It's very good.
It is different.
It's very good.
I like
definitely very good.
Guess I'd have to go visit when they open it up to the public. Something to do.
It'll be something to do.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, so the Padron Maduros are coming from Fox Cigars this evening.
Yep.
FoxCigar.com.
Yep. They have free shipping, so get your cigars from there. Sign up. I keep telling everybody sign up for their email list. You get great deals every day.
Yep.
And if you don't mind, if you happen to order something from them, add a little note there. The Frisky Whiskey sent you.
Yeah.
Sure.
They're good friends of ours, and just let them know that some of that business is coming from us.
Exactly.
Listen to our show, and when you listen to our show too, please like us, subscribe to us, follow us, depending what platform you're using, and always keep listening to us.
Yep.
And
let us know that you like what we're doing.
You can grab a nice bottle of whiskey and follow along with us. We release our shows on Monday.
6 p.m.
6 p.m. So check us out every Monday,
and we'll get our socials out there soon.
Yeah, we're working on social media, so we're very close to having that done. You can go check out our website, thefriskywhiskey.com.
Yep.
That's going to have every episode on there, links to the episodes,
links to the restaurants,
that we get food from. Fox Cigars on there.
Yeah. Okay.
So I think you like the website. It's not too crazy.
It's super crazy.
No, it's not that crazy.
It's the craziest website you've ever seen.
Yeah, right, it's insane.
It kind of reminds you of like 1999.
So much flash on it. So much flash on it. No, but it's a nice website. It's going to have all the bottles and the history of the different bottles. So it's a good read.
Yep.
So please check out our website as well too, and we'll be on social media very soon. Instagram and Facebook. We are coming.
Yep.
We are coming.
And Jacob,
gentlemen, thanks for having me.
Jacob, thank you for having
Jacob,
me.
Honored to be the inaugural
first
guest.
That's like you get a golf clap.
Yeah.
Golf clap because you set the bar now.
Yeah.
You definitely set the bar of knowledge of what you brought.
Listen, we have more.
Yeah.
We have so many.
We can run this back.
Yeah, there you go.
We're definitely going to bring you back again.
So I think that means
you live too
back.
close to me not to have you come back. Anyway.
Right, of course.
So that means you want to come back, right?
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. We're glad you had a good time tonight.
Did.
And so all the whiskeys that we had tonight, you can't go wrong buying any one of them. Only make sure you find that Colonel E.H. Taylor one at the right price point, in our opinion. The Chattanooga Whiskey, kind of new players to their market that kind of brought back whiskey to Tennessee and got more counties building it. Old Granddad, like it is old and Granddad, that was my favorite tonight because it has that more of a rye mix.
Loved it.
Evan Williams for $17 a bottle.
Fantastic.
You can bring it to anybody's house.
You just need to
Mix
have
it
one
with
at your
anything.
house.
Yeah, and mix it. You can mix it with anything. It's a great cocktail. But bring it to
Neat,
anybody's house, and
rocks.
you can't look bad
Perfect.
at 17. And don't even tell them.
Yeah.
Don't even tell them how much it
They
was.
sip it, they're like,
Yeah.
it's $500.
If you know somebody, yeah, right. I don't know about that, but you bring it to someone's house as a gift, and they're never going to know how much you spent on it, and they're going to appreciate it and appreciate you for that gift. So, everybody have a great evening tonight. Look forward to hearing you guys talking to you guys next week.
Yeah.
Jacob, once again, thank you.
Thank you so much.
You were a great guest tonight, and you were set the bar.
You have set the bar.
Good job.
That was the
sir.
plan.
Good job.
All right, everyone. Have a good evening.